stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Brian?
Here.
Ellen? Yep. Jamie?
Yes.
Attorney Schober? Myself? Larry?
Here.
Clerk Katie, sorry.
Here.
Josh?
Here.
And currently not present is Greg.
I didn't see his truck in his driveway.
Number 2, public comments. If you wish to address the village board under public comment, please sign in before the call to order of this meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. The village is not authorized by the Wisconsin Open Meetings laws to discuss, comment, or take action at the meeting on any issue raised by public comment that is not part of tonight's agenda. The village president may refer the matter to the appropriate department head and/or village attorney for immediate comment after public comment, or staff to obtain additional information and report back to the board as appropriate. Are there any public comments? Second call for public comments. There are no public comments, we move on. It's number 3, the public hearing, discussion, consideration, and possible approval of the 2025 proposed budget. In the packet, there is the official notice that was sent out, as well as the condensed, or the full funds budget overview.
So the biggest highlights out of the budget and finance worked on, just going to give a rundown of the breakdowns. Starting in the revenues, our state share revenue went up by about $2,500. Our computer aids remained the same. Our state share revenue, like I mentioned, is at $103,830.25. Computer aids, $1,151.50. Video service provider aid from the state of Wisconsin remained the same at $31,8864. Going down to state transportation aids, you'll see that our transportation aids went down from $101,971 down to $91,774.49. Expenditure restraint program is still in play, $27,036.88 again for this coming year, 2025. One thing with the budgets this year is that personal property tax is no longer a part of the budget in regards to assessed value. The state is compensating municipalities with the personal property tax aid, which we will receive $34,567.27. Bridges library system, that number went up by $3,000 to $33,060 for the library, along with Prairie Lakes, that one went down $500. Excuse me just 1 second. Liquor licenses remain the same, as well as operator provisional licenses. Fireworks permits, which is $20,000, kept at the same amount there. You'll see for the most part. A couple things here and there went up, a couple things went down. Planning reimbursement from $15,000 down to $13,000. Engineering fees up to $13,000. This past year so far, with the 9-month average, we're up to $17,000, so we bumped that up a little bit as well. Corp? Yes, ma'am.
$1,500 for peddlers and hawkers, how does that come, where does that come from?
People who want to solicit, people who are selling.
Why? Wow. So last year was 150?
Last year was budgeted for 2024 was budgeted $180. We've received, as of 9 months, $3,615.
Okay, good. Sorry, keep going.
Yep.
Apologize.
No, don't apologize, it's not a problem. Oh, let's see
Here's the
here.
bottom.
Court revenue, in regards to everything in regards to what comes in for the court revenue, kept the same, discussed with the Judge and clerk, as well as the Village of Waukesha, revenues were going to be kept the same. These are 9-month numbers right now, so we don't have the 10-month figures in this proposal. Impact fee revenue really didn't, just added the $250. We've been getting a little bit over the past couple of years, but not much in regards to that. Charges for services, we kept the same at $30,000. Basically chargebacks here and there for developers and other services that the village provides, any chargeback. Plot sales kept about the same, at about $16,000 this year for 2024. We had $15,000. So far, revenue-wise, we brought in $20,035 in regards to that. Celebrations, spoke with Celebrations. They requested that we keep the budget exactly the same as last year's budget. They didn't want any number changes. Talked with Warren Lozick about that, and they discussed it and said that just to keep everything the same as income and revenue at this point. Let's see here. Let's start up celebrations. All right. General government, that sale of land. When we were talking about this, where are we right now in regards to the sale of the land?
Land's, it's all done.
Okay.
Transfer will occur to the Recording Register of Deeds office. The monies came into the village and are all distributed to the firms involved, engineering, legal, etc. And there's $7,000 is the net. It's done.
Okay. So we didn't have that in September when we were putting this all together for the 9-month figure, so that's part of them $7,000 that came in there for the village for 2024. Getting down to the Jumbotron note, we were able to break that down for 2024. Was budgeted $4,600 and for the note and $1,400 for the interest. The bank numbers, the exact numbers for the Jumbotron for 2025 is $5,007.19 for the note. Interest is $787.13 for a total of $57.94.32.
Do you know what the balance is on that?
Tracy, motion.
Is it around 30, 40? Just ballpark it. Just off the top of your head, Tracy. You don't have to look for
Right now, we owe $28,523.83 because the December payment hasn't been made.
it. Okay. Thank you.
Under general government, for expenditures, pretty much everything is the same, a little uptick here and there, a little downtick with a couple of things. Workman insurance, they did not have the exact numbers, but they said it would be, with the number, if we used last year's numbers, we would be pretty much in the right ballpark for everything. So there wouldn't be any major changes, maybe by $1,000 plus or minus. Court wages and stuff down due to the fact that there's been less things going on in regards to that, and everything's been a little bit more efficient, so the hours of the court has gone down a little bit, so we compensated for that from $24,506 to $19,912. Our legal fees, thank you, Mike Schober and John Schober, will remain the same at $72,000 for the year. Basically $6,000 per month for our legal fees. We addressed some of the wages in the clerk's office, and that with Katie and Laura as well. We're looking at making sure that we have coverage and making sure that the office is open more for the public. We're right now running at it from 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. and looking at some changes in regards to that coming up in the new year to try to make sure that everything's stabilized with the front office and that we have access for the public compared to where we were on a part-time basis. We left $35,000 in for our audit. We need to be doing our annual audit on a regular basis, so we'll be looking at the 2024 audit for next year. I don't know where the feedback's coming from, but it's feedback coming back. Anyways, because we need to keep an annual audit going on, we put $35,000 in for the 2024 audit, which will need to be completed next year. Police department basically remained the same, budget-wise, same amount. There was no increase in the budget. Things were kind of shuffled around a little bit until they could get their staffing. So the budget amount was $447,000, same as last year for the police department budget. There was some increases for the fire department due to increase in medical expenses, so there was about a $2,500 increase in the fire department budget. Overall, for public safety, the overall budget went up approximately $7,000. Public Works, we had wages all over the place for Public Works, totaling up to around $200,000 in different categories. It was discussed in regards to the duties and responsibilities with the new director coming in. We also included into there $25,000 for health insurance as well. We also have in there for the maintenance in regards to, that was brought up in regards to the generator and getting that rectified as well. The overall budget didn't go down. I should say not the overall budget, the operating budget didn't go down, but where all the salaries and everything else did, because of all the things that were all around within Public Works. We moved that around. We took out the that was in there. We don't know why it was in there in regards to the Public Works capital expense for the loader. We made sure that, and we'll explain that once we get down to the what our debt services, and we can talk about that. But there, for some reason, $14,096 was put in for a loader expense, which should not be in there. It should be to our capital expenditures. Overall, Public Works went up approximately $14,000. We did see, looking at refuse, we did see that the numbers remained steady for garbage collection as well as recycling collection. Dumpster expense, we added one more dumpster into the mix just in case we needed it for odds and ends for the year. Culture and recreation, library wages went up a little bit. Carla explained to us in regards to getting an increase in wages for her staff. We had a very good discussion with Carla in regards to everything. She did a very good job with numbers and making sure that she was right in. Her budget did go up a little bit, approximately, I want to say $1,000 it was, but she did see an increase in grants, and she did also see an increase in aid as well. So
Their wages were really low.
yeah, and it needed it. It really
They sure did, no.
Economic development, planning and that, numbers were pretty much kept the same. The economic development, we did drop $5,000. Until we kind of get a decent plan of what direction the village is going to go, we felt that we would keep it at about 25 at this point until we can sit down and, as well and then talk with the planner. Planner's looking to keep numbers about the same when we give them the number. Debt service. Debt service this year is broken down the way it needs to be, so everyone's aware of what goes where and what. The principal payments in regards to the bonds. We have two bonds that are out there, the 2013A and the 2014A. The principal payments on the 2013A is $270,000. Principal payments on the 2014A bond is at $40,000. Interest expense on the 2013A is $59,020. Interest expense on the 2014A bond is $32,913. Principal payments for the plow truck are broken down. Payments for 2025 will be principal payment of $25,475.32. Interest payments on the plow truck are $6,800.84. Principal payments on the John Deere front end loader, that is the lease that we are currently on. I think the board should be aware that this goes until March 28th of 2027, and at that time, we are gonna owe a lump sum payment of $73,885.89. So, just so the board is aware of it now. Granted, that's 3 years, 2.5 years out, we still need to be made, still at least need to be aware of that. We went through the budget, looking at all the numbers and everything, and we created a capital account. Last year, there was a transfer out of $50,000 that we have no idea what it was used for or where it was going. We took that, eliminated that, and created a capital account for the village to use for road projects or some type of capital expenditure. The new account we'd like to start out with would be $125,000 that we're able to incorporate into the budget. Overall, in the end, we are looking at an increase in the tax levy of 1.74%, overall revenues and budget 1.99%. We are looking at a mill rate of going from $6.15 per thousand to $6.25 per thousand, which is a 1.6% increase. This keeps us, for the budget restraint, we have more room, but we felt what we are presenting is appropriate, especially with everything going on. We are looking at the average taxpayer paying basically $10 more per 100,000.
Jamie, on these, bond and the tip,
Yes.
how old are those?
They expire in 33 and 34.
That's the old debt.
Correct.
That's been going on for how long?
Correct.
The TIF is 2034,
Correct.
and the 295, or the 270?
The 2013 goes until 2033, because it's a 20-year bond, and the 2014 goes till 2034, because it's also a 20-year bond.
And how much is being paid towards that debt?
So for 2025, we are looking at $270,000 plus $59,000. That would be approximately $330,000 towards the 2013 bond, and approximately $72,913 to the 2014 bond.
That's what you're throwing at it, okay.
Correct. That's what our payment schedule is.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We thought it was in the best interest to keep that general fund of the capital expenditure, of the $125,000 to hopefully help get a few roads completed this year.
That's referred to as the capital fund.
Correct.
Yeah, capital.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna take money out of the current LGIP to pay for town line, correct?
Yeah, which came in actually lower, 70,
78,000 if I'm not mistaken,
That
which
was
is great for us.
Yeah.
So then we don't have to worry about taking a note out for it. And then focus on up near Artesian, because that has to get done.
Windwalker subdivision.
Okay.
Because it never was fully completed. So,
Bronk and Wind
correct,
Drive.
they're on
so
the
neglected.
radar.
According to, it's gonna take a little bit of time and planning in regards to those, because they're gonna be a lot bigger projects than what this would be. So, and it's gonna be a lot more costly, and that for us to kind of look at those and how we want to plan that one out.
Because they're rated so low, it's gonna take a lot more time. Like Jamie said, where up by Windwalker, it's not gonna take.
Try and salvage it before it gets bad.
So
Because it should have been completed after the subdivision was done, and it wasn't.
I would recommend everyone at least take the time, I know everyone should have a copy of the road Pazer report and take a look at that. There are a lot of projects, but we wanna try to save what we can as we prioritize. The ones that have failed, we understand they failed, but we still have to get to those roads. But a project for Wind Drive, Bronk, and Edgewood is gonna take time to plan and do. And they're bad, and they need to get done. But if we get at least one road project done for 2025, and then during 2025, start planning those roads for 2026, that would be a smart move on our part.
Because the more we keep increasing it, the more money we'll
Right,
get.
and it's important to actually spend money on the roads instead of
Correct.
losing what we
That's
get.
why instead of taking a note to do town line, we're using the money, so then they see we're using the funds appropriately, instead of taking another note out when we shouldn't.
Why would health and human services go down from 15 grand to 3,500? How does that work?
Because the wages that were in there, you should have a breakdown. You got the breakdown, you got that. So it'll show right in there what exactly, let's see here, where are we? Basically, all the wages, WRS, Medicare, and all that was pulled out, and just the budget is there.
Where is that?
It's the
Page 2.
second to last page. Under Public Works. And then Health and Human Services right under that.
Still doesn't make any sense to me. Health and human services.
I should-
It's cemetery. So this is including the celebrations?
No,
Health and
Unfortunately,
human services,
the way it prints out, it's actually above and below. So the way it prints out on the computer is that this category is actually up here. And Public Works is up above. This is not Public Works. Public Works is above. And so it prints, the way it prints the total and what it
so this
is.
is the cemetery. Okay.
Correct.
So I still don't understand, how does it go from 15,000 to 3,500?
Because if you look here, you'll see that the wages here, this is, and that we'll take for the 2024 budget, we're taking out for the 2025 budget, and put for Public Works.
Because all of Public Works was separated into forestry, cemetery,
Parks.
parks and everything else, where we lumped it all into DPW instead, so it doesn't all have to be itemized because they're all getting paid that money as a whole.
I know, because there was some question about, not only monitoring, so like the hours for the cemetery, you know, how you break out the fuel costs versus that versus parks or.
Because they're
It's
working
hard to
at
do.
all of them.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and it simplifies a lot.
Well, already now. Still doesn't make any sense.
The wages were put back in to Public Works instead of just having it under cemetery.
Instead of just being broke up for cemeteries, just include the words.
Correct.
Not segregated out.
Correct.
Well, I'd get fired if I were a bookkeeper anyway.
You dropped the fuel prices from 14.5 to 10 for Public Works?
They have not been looking at the trends and stuff, they were not,
Okay. I'm seeing it's like almost a third of this.
I am, yeah.
Okay.
so.
Anyone else have any other questions? We tried to just minimize all the substructures, especially under DPW, because it was 6.5 pages worth of budget, and we're all paying the same people, the same stuff. It was everything, wages is broken down so many times for the same job. And like Larry said, it's hard to, well, they were down here at the park and then over here and then they were at Cherry and then they had run to the cemetery again. So it's hard to do a full breakdown to assess that, so it's just
Keep that
easier.
accurate is,
Correct.
but it's all coming out of the same pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you do want the breakdowns for the Jumbotron, the DPW truck and the John Deere, I can forward you guys copies of that too. Any other questions or concerns at all for the proposed budget?
It's on the agenda later, if anyone comes up with another,
Correct.
as they say, another kick at the cat.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 proposed budget.
You want to wait until we get to,
Just as adoption of the back.
yeah. At least then, if Larry or Brian or
There's
Josh
one.
or Alan, something pops up between now and then.
That's fine. We will move on to reports, fire department monthly report.
All right, pump testing was completed, all units passed. We did our annual Take a Student to Breakfast in School. That is a fundraiser with St. Joseph's School that we've been doing for a number of years. 6 of our department members attended. We handed out candy during, to the children of the village during trick or treat on the 31st. The fire department, along with the police department, did a tour with students from Christ Lutheran School. Staff went to both of the schools for Fire Prevention Week. We talked about fire safety to the students and gave tours of the trucks. Call volume is still high, and staff continues to do a great job in responding to calls. Right now we're at 209 calls for the year with 2 months left in the year. So we've never been that high before. So it's been a busy year. Any questions or concerns? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. The library monthly report, Carla is not here, so please at your leisure read her report. I know they raised over $220 or $288 in the bake sale on Tuesday. That goes straight to the library, which was huge. Shout out to Katie for making a bunch of cupcakes and yummy goodies. On the back,
Prettiest things there.
yes, they were. And the library events are on the back for everybody else to read. There is no police department report at this time. I do not have a report for President's report. Public Works Department monthly report, we are going to pass on this evening as well. Is there anything for professional services, sir?
Just briefly, Brian and I have talked about this. We met several months, I think it was some time ago with Celebrations folks. And it seemed to be a very constructive meeting. I think they acknowledged that they're part of the village. We were all going to take a look at the draft ordinance we put together back in 2019. I wrote to the attorney about a week ago and Brian made a similar request of Warren. And I don't think I haven't received a response, so the attorney said he hadn't heard anything. And I'm not being critical of Celebrations folks by any means when I say that I think they're trying to figure out some of the details of how this is going to work out, and it's more than just what you see at first glance. As an example, I think they have gun raffles, and I just felt a bit concerned about the village participating in a gun raffle, whether we somehow recognize the profits. You may feel differently, and certainly board in Montana would feel completely different about it. But I have some second misgivings about that. So I think that all I can say at this point is we continue to work on it. It looked like resolution is promising, and we just have to push a little harder to get back together. And I've got anything else, Brian? No. That's about it. So that's that one. Nothing else at this time.
Did the fire department have gun raffles?
We ran that through our association. Yeah, the gun raffles we ran through our association. We made a lot of money too.
They love buying those tickets.
Oh, you bet.
You said earlier that land transfer, the sale, that's all been completed, you said?
Yep,
Everything's
totally
done?
done, paid. if everything's done, it got to be more of a hassle than what the first blush we had to get we need legal descriptions of the area, so before we did that, and there's a number of things that had come up. Some of the people have been using the land as well as theirs in the meantime. But anyway, it's all done. I think everybody's happy. At least I didn't hear any negatives out of it, so it's all done and paid for. Documents are recorded, the original documents have been mailed to the owners of those respective parcels. Done deal.
Sounds good.
Number 5, consideration approval of minutes for October 3rd and October 16th board meetings.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Under 3E, it should be reviewed by acting, how do I state that? Acting DPW Superintendent Greg Peterson, not Pedersen. In the minutes. Because Greg's the one that gave us that information. Got it. Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for October 3rd and 16th with the changes.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, approval of bills, discussion, consideration, approval of bills in the amount of $167,880.92, 16788092. That is for the bills from the middle of October and today's bills. October's bills were $87,426.81. I'll repeat it again, $87,426.81. November 7th are $80,454.11. 80454.11. I'll make a motion to approve the bills in $167,880.92.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, closed session. Go into closed session as per Wisconsin State Statutes 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governing body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically hiring of DPW Superintendent Eric Gross.
I make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote to go into closed session. Josh?
Aye.
Larry?
Aye.
Tracy? Aye. Jamie?
Aye.
Ellen?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are now in closed session. Number 8, resuming open session, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding items discussed in closed session, hiring of DPW Superintendent Eric Ross.
I would like to make a motion to hire Eric Cross for DPW superintendent.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 9, old business, discussion of possible action on amendment in Village Ordinance, Chapter 12, licenses and permits regarding an increase in dog license fee for 2025. We as the village board have already approved of the $2 increase. So by changing ordinance number 2024-03, that would increase the license fee. Instead of $15, would be $17 annual for male and female dogs, from $10 to $12 annually for spayed or neuter dogs, and from $1 to $5 for each license fee shall be remitted to Waukesha County in accordance with Waukesha County Rabies Control Ordinance. $8 for each license shall be remitted to Waukesha County in accordance with the Waukesha County Humane Office Ordinance. The village clerk shall collect an additional $5 if the owner fails to obtain a license by April 1st or within 30 days after the dog becomes 5 months of age, or within 30 days after acquiring a dog. The license, upon procuring a license, shall securely attach the license tag to a collar or harness, and this collar or harness with the license tag shall attach, whenever the dog is outside the dwelling of the license, be kept on the dog for which the license is issued. Any such dog found without a collar or harness to which a license tag is attached shall be deemed unlicensed.
There's no penalty.
Penalty is the additional $5.
We could get them for more than that.
What if they get picked up by the pound? There's also a fee too.
Yeah, for getting your dog from.
Section 2, ordinance or parts of ordinance contravening or inconsistent with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 3, this ordinance shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage and publication as required by law.
I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2024-03.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are striking B regarding the ATVs because it was pushed back to public safety, and that was the only thing on topic for last month, so we postponed it to this month. 10, new business, the adoption of the 2025 budget.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt 2025 budget.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. B, discussion and possible action on replacing furnaces in the fire department. The USA Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing HVAC quote is also inside the packet.
Well, last night, myself, trustee Long, trustee Grover, we got a quick tour of what we have currently in the fire department, which dates back into the 1950s. The furnaces have been kept going for quite a long time, and trying to find parts and piecemealing everything together. It's about time that we look at replacing these. Contacted USA Heating and Cooling up on Enterprise Drive up by American Fireworks. Had them come down to give a quote in regards to the furnaces and getting more energy efficient and new units in there to replace what is currently in there. If anyone needs to see the units, you can open up the door and you guys can take a walk back there and take a look at what we have hanging from the ceiling. We've been having problems the past few years with the furnaces. One of them, we have to kind of jerry-rig one of the switches to keep it working, shut it off for a while, let it reset. Sometimes it doesn't run at all. One of the other unit, we had to basically buy a motor on eBay to replace the fan motor last year. So, they're old units, there's no doubt about it.
New parts are just getting harder to come by.
Oh, God. They're big, they are
Yeah.
big furnaces, there's no doubt about that.
It would be better to replace them before.
Are they the big gas
No.
main?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be gas units.
So you just have one estimate?
Correct.
I think you have to have more than one.
You can get, how many do you want?
2, 3?
Three? You can do three.
This one, if it's approved, when could it be completed?
This month.
I'm just concerned, I'd like to get it done, if we can do it.
That before it gets cold?
Because last
If it ever
year,
gets
we
cold.
wanted
This
to
year.
throw one out in the middle,
Yeah.
you know.
But I'd like to get it done this year, so it
Yeah.
doesn't go into next year's.
And where's the money coming from?
It would come out of the remaining ARPA funds, the $35,000 that we currently have in ARPA funds that are currently sitting at the state of Wisconsin account.
Is that the LGIP?
That's out of the LGIP, one of the accounts in the LGIP.
I think 9,000 is a lot cheaper than replacing a fire truck when one freezes up and you start blowing valves and everything. Because then you're looking at $300 and some thousand.
I just want to bring up also that at least it's one, a localized business for us to have them look at it and try to take care of us. When we requested a previous employee for servicing for certain things in the village, he says, if you want them, you go find them.
Yeah, and I called
So-
and I got extra quotes.
So Brian ended up having to do it because he refused to do it. And that's why we had to go with the generator contract, because we couldn't find anything cheaper or better, unfortunately, on our own.
Well, we still should have more. I say let's approve something because something has to be done, but you really should have more than one estimate.
That's fine.
It's our money.
So we'll make an approval on
updating
Best
the
out of
furnace.
3?
I mean, we'll keep I have no problem with tabling it until next month. I'll let them know that we're getting a couple more quotes and go from there.
What would the turnaround time be to get the furnaces?
They said they'd be able to get things in by the end of the month.
So in 2 or 3 weeks.
Correct.
So if we wait until December, 2 or 3 weeks, we could be in bitter cold weather.
They're working, we can nurse them along. It isn't like, but if we don't do something within, soon enough, I mean, we just don't want these things failing in the middle of winter and that, I
Right.
mean,
That's for sure.
My big concern is getting it done before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I'm sure we're gonna have something done, whether it's this company or someone else.
We have space heaters at home, you can use those.
Also, if we push off another month, everybody's gonna be getting their furnaces worked
Yeah.
on, and you might not get it done by the end of the month. Cause that's gonna be the cold season where everybody's getting their furnaces taken care of. So I would just roll with this, and we're gonna make it practice of 3 quotes then.
We can approve this, but we should get some of the quotes, maybe we might get a better price.
I'll make a motion to approve replacing the furnaces in the fire department.
Second.
Maybe when you get the quotes, send them out, we can,
we can't approve without a village board meeting. If we send it out via email, we're gonna create a walking corner, and we can't do that.
Yep.
So we would have to have either a special meeting or wait until December. Like I said, we can make it till December. I'll talk with the companies and say, hey, we'd like to get this in before the end of the year. I'd like to amend the motion to table this until next month's meeting.
Okay, I don't think we should. I think we should just go and get this, and if we're gonna make a standard practice of 3 quotes, then,
And going forward after.
yeah, we establish that for everybody across the board from here on out. We can't just,
that's good practice when you're spending taxpayer money, get estimates.
I understand that, but when have you enforced that before to anybody? Never.
Know the answer to that.
Brian, we'll just wait till December. It's fine, honestly.
If you blow a fire truck, we're gonna be having a big board meeting.
Don't worry, I'll be at Ellen's house getting her space heaters.
I'll bring them over.
I'll second it then.
We'll make it work. They're working now, we'll make them work.
So we have a motion to table until December. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding the DOT snow removal contract for sidewalks.
So this is the sidewalks that we take care of for the DOT. The DOT, basically, we shovel the sidewalks up along here that are in front of Highway 164, and then any place where else where the state of Wisconsin. This was the current cost, and that was put out the last time. We needed to bring this before to see if there was anything we wanted to change, to increase, or just leave it the same. They're gonna need a response in regards to this. So the previous was $55 an hour and $14.50 per 50-pound bag of salt for that. Generally, it takes about half hour, 45 minutes to get everything done.
And this is the same every year?
For the most part, yes. The price hasn't changed. The price hasn't changed for us to do it since 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the $55 per hour and $14.50 per 50-pound bag for going into 2025.
I'll second.
Can we have it for longer? Instead of a year to year, or is it standard with the county?
Standard, it's not with the county, it's with the state.
State, sorry.
So,
There's a motion, is there a second?
No.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
think we did.
I apologize. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. D, consideration, discussion, or possible approval of the following operators license application renewal. All renewals for 2024-2025 unless noted. St. Joseph Catholic Church, Michelle Riley is a renewal. Background check was completed by Acting Chief Sinowski. He said he completed it and there was no issues noted. I'll make a motion to approve Michelle Riley's operator license for St. Joseph's Catholic Church.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. E, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County Municipal Service Agreement. It's effective January 1st of 2025.
Did anything change in this?
When I looked at it, it did not seem like it changed whatsoever.
What does it cost?
$1,189.65.
Yeah, that's a lot last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's why we rounded it up to $11.90.
Well, fudging the records. All good.
Did any other agency quote on this, or we're just rolling with this one, or?
They're the only ones who do it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County Municipal Service Agreement.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action of appointment of Rich Walder
Walter, right.
to the Police and Fire Commission. He had actually stopped in earlier and gave us a extensive list of his history of work and education and qualifications. We did get it put in your packet. That one's on.
Hall of Honors, Marshall first.
Nobody better swear on me either.
He was also our detective for quite a few years here in the village as well.
Oh.
Any questions? Rich is still here if you have any questions for him. I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Rich Walder to the Police and Fire Commission.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Thank you.
That's to fill the remaining term of Mark Anderson, correct?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Correct, this was reading.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, aye,
All those opposed? Motion carries. I do not have any current correspondence. Joshua?
I would make a motion to adjourn.
No, you have, I thought we had correspondence. You said you had a letter.
So we had to talk to the business.
building inspector, never mind.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we have a motion by Josh.
I can make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
There it is.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll see you in December. Do you want me to?
Richard,
Did
did you live in West Dallas?
No, I didn't.
She told me to give you.
Oh, she already did, okay.
State Fair?
I told her I'd take care of it.
Different times.
Well, no, I thought it was interesting because, yeah,
I grew up in West Dallas.
Very
so-
we're in the